Call Kurtis goes undercover, investigating a dental practice of upselling and performing work you may not need, all to make a buck. And it is happening more and more in this economy.
We call on Kurtis Ming with his investigation, drilling for dollars.
Drilling in your mouth, performing root canals you don't need. The state is going after a Sacramento dentist who may have overtreated more than 100 patients. Has this happened to you? Well, we have learned you may have no idea.
Open really wide.
You give them your trust.
I believe the man.
But could some dentists be taking advantage?
I don't understand how anybody could do that.
Performing work you don't even need.
These teeth were perfectly okay.
Perfectly okay.
All to make a buck.
It has to be intentional.
I feel bad.
Joan Mitchell-Love and her husband Ralph say Sacramento dentist Dr. David Lewis, seen here on his website, changed their smiles forever.
I can't smile.
Each now missing teeth.
Oh, I know that he took us.
They always suspected they didn't need all the expensive work Dr. Lewis performed.
They were all things to get you back into his office.
And then this. In a rare aggressive move in February, the state rushed in, shutting down Dr. Lewis's practice, accusing him of harming patients.
This is one of the most egregious cases I've ever seen.
The dental board's chief enforcement officer, Kim Treffry, says her investigators uncovered Dr. Lewis billed for work he never performed, sometimes for teeth patients didn't even have. And according to this state memo, Lewis performed unnecessary and excessive treatment on patients' healthy and natural teeth.
He was performing root canals on people that did not need root canals.
The dental board's Richard DeCure says the red flags went up when Dr. Lewis's bill to one insurance company jumped from an average of $154,000 a year to $870,000 a year after 2009. That one insurer paying Lewis more than $2.7 million in dental claims since 2006. Investigators claim he found a cash cow in UPS workers, who they say he offered cash rewards to refer colleagues.
It's our understanding that their insurance program for dental had no copay, 100% coverage, no cap.
He could make a lot of money off of those people.
Yes, he could.
And he did.
That's what it appears.
How many patients are we talking about?
We've identified at least 120.
Some within the industry say it's not just Dr. Lewis.
I don't think it's good for my profession.
Dentist Mark Verhena says in this economy where people are skipping appointments and going without needed treatment, he knows some dentists are surviving by hard-selling unsuspecting patients on more expensive treatments they may not need.
I don't like it. I mean, I'm embarrassed to be even talking about it.
As an experiment, we sent the same undercover staffer to 3 different dentists for an x-ray and exam. So what do they tell her? All 3 dentists agreed she may need a root canal on this tooth and had a cavity on this one. But from there, it varied. Dentist 1 claiming she had these 2 cavities. Dentist 2 saying she had these 3 cavities. And Dentist 3 recommended pricey crowns on these teeth. Crowns that cost $4,140. So, how do you explain the difference?
Each dentist does not practice the same.
Dr. Mark Kirkland, an ethics professor at UCSF School of Dentistry, says different schools teach different philosophies about treating patients.
The problem is when we get to be overly aggressive and selling unnecessary treatment.
I always tell patients gut feeling. Gut feeling is important.
Both say dentists should give patients all of their options, not just push them toward elaborate, pricey procedures.
What is the dental board doing about this sort of practice?
In terms of overbilling, in terms of overtreatment, it's on the board's radar. Do I think it's widespread? I don't think it's widespread.
The dental board says patients rarely complain, but they admit patients may have no idea they've been overtreated.
If people don't complain to you, you don't know about them.
That's correct.
In the complaint against Dr. Lewis, the state writes, it's the worst kind of evil a dentist can engage in.
I don't think he should ever be treating patients again.
Joan and Ralph agree.
I'm very scared.
Because they say Dr. Lewis stole their ability to trust any dentist.
If I can share my story and prevent somebody else from suffering, then I'm happy to do so.
The dental board says Dr. Lewis could face criminal charges. We tried to reach him several times, but never heard back. We're told he has since sold his practice. The office on Marconi Avenue is being run by other dentists.
That is sure eye-opening. So if you're in the chair and they're trying to sell you some sort of treatment that you don't think you need, what do?
Ask for all of your options, all of them, from the cheapest to the most expensive. If you get the sense there's no alternative, There are always alternatives, I'm told, so make sure you're hearing all of those options. And if they're telling you too much, they're talking fast, ask them to print out all of your options so you can take them home and look at them.
And one of the experts you talked to in the piece says, trust your gut. I mean, that's tough to do. I mean, how do you know?
Well, if you feel like they're hard selling you and you got that gut feeling, at that point, say, you know what, I think I might get a second opinion. Tell them that right then and there. See if their tune changes at all.
And you think maybe they might.
Perhaps they will, perhaps they won't.
That's a good idea.
You could always take that route and get a second opinion.
Good piece.
Well, thank you very much. Our coverage continues on CBSSacramento.com. If you think you've been overtreated, we've got a link to the Dental Board's complaint form. What should you expect from your dentist? The California Dental Association weighs in, and we've also posted the state's complaints against Dr. Lewis. And if you have been overtreated or think you have, let us know about it. That's all at CBSSacramento.com.